We're gonna start with the second round because that's where we were last time. Um, were you surprised when Tampa Bay swept the Panthers, Steven?
No. Also, I am kind of realizing I think we already did mention this last time, so we can just kind of
That's right. We did talk about yeah.
yeah, because
So
their series was done.
you're not wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
So the only series that was really there was the Avs, the Oilers, and Rangers.
Yeah. Either way, though, I also will just say I was a little bit surprised. I thought Florida would get at least one or two,
Yeah.
but yeah, to get swept like that, kind of pathetic. You know?
It was like Columbus when Columbus swept the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It felt like Florida had just built up their team. They didn't really think of a long-term plan. It was just, let's just pass the first round with force, right?
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't
Exactly.
make sense. Let's
Yeah.
just put. Go ahead.
You had everyone like fans and media just like hyping them up as if like this was going to be like their big chance and like they're going to go on a big run, and then like just they run into Tampa in round two and that's it.
There you go. You heard it from Steven. And then I think the Oilers, they were pretty much done with Flames. We had, I think, what was our predictions? I think they turned
Uh,
out.
I know I said Calgary, so I was wrong about
I
that.
said Edmonton. Or so,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I said the Avs.
Yeah, I had them as well.
And I said the Rangers over the Hurricanes, I think.
I did not. I had the Hurricanes there.
Especially in the third round, we're going to be talking more in depth in that series because I think that's probably the most so far. We are the 7th of June.
Yep.
So you already have one series that's done. We're gonna go into that. Don't want to jump ahead, but the Rangers are something different, man. They're a little something different. And they're showing that they can keep up with the big boys.
Yeah, exactly. They're a deep team, and they clearly they loaded up at deadline with getting guys like Andrew Kopp. There's someone they got from the Canucks in there. Was it Tyler Mott?
Maybe.
Yeah,
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
I think it was Mott. And and even in the offseason, like signing Barclay Goodrow to kind of shore up their depth as well. And it always helped. Oh, bless you.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yes, we all heard it.
Well, I muted it. I muted on OBS.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh God, sorry.
No, it's all good. But then also like having a guy like Shesterkin back there who had his Vezina season that he just had, right, and he's continuing to play like that in the playoffs. It always helps to have a guy like that for sure.
Not wrong. Absolutely not wrong. Do you think if Frederik Andersen was in net versus New York, would it be something different? Would it end up being different?
See, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh.
It's maybe it could have been like maybe they win in 6, maybe they win in 5. Like I don't know. Like
game 6 and 7, New York was able to put up 5 or more goals.
Yes.
Whilst Carolina only put up 2 for both games.
Yeah.
So, like, Frederik Andersen is a good goalie. We've seen it before. He also has let out some blunders. Like, so many great goaltenders before him. So, we can't really blame him. And we didn't get to see him. I think there would have been a 50-50. I think you could put a bigger bet on the Hurricanes winning, although Ranta was doing really well.
Yeah, he was, honestly.
A 9.22 save percentage. So
I know. I still think the Rangers come out on top in that one just because like they were playing so determined. Like when they're on the ropes, they find another level and they just I don't know what it is. They're just good. Their stars show up. They're big time players. Like Kreider scoring every game, Zibanejad scoring every game, Panarin's getting points every game, Shesterkin is shutting the door every game. Fox is in the mix too. Like they're guys who you expect to be there are there all the time, and the depth is popping in there too to help out, which is what you need from a team to go far. Yeah,
they need to keep it simple, but change it up a little bit from time to time.
Yeah.
Keep the enemy guessing. but keep the base, the infrastructure there, right? Keep the
Exactly.
you got Zibanejad that'll score on 5-on-5. Then you got Kreider that'll score power play goals up the wazoo. Are we done talking about the second round? Are you?
We didn't really talk about the Oilers series, like that one, Flames won game 1 and then it was just all Oilers from that point. Like the Flames couldn't buy a goal or I don't know, they couldn't generate anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Avs and the Blues, that was actually probably I didn't see much of the Rangers Hurricane series. So that could have probably been a really good one, especially since it went 7.
Yeah.
But Avs and Blues, I paid a lot of attention to that one just because of the two teams and how well they match up against each other. That one was definitely one of the best series probably so far these playoffs. And the Avs taking it in 6 games. Like the Blues did all they could. I think it was game 6 overtime, if I remember correctly.
Well, when you're missing Jordan Bennington too.
Yeah, they still were able to win a game without him. I think if he stays in that series, though, it probably goes to game 7, and then from there, honestly, who knows? It could have easily been St. Louis winning that series.
Absolutely,
because they're a tough team. They're not an easy out, that's for sure, and they proved it even without their best goalie that they still were a tough time to get past. But yeah, I think that's all though for a second round now.
Yeah, the Blues definitely could have gone to 7 as well, and it would have been 50-50. I agree with you on that. And then the third round, now we already have a sweep.
Yep. As of last night.
Yeah, every round after the first, there's been sweeps. So Colorado.
No, the first round had a sweep as well.
Oh yes, right. Colorado swept Nashville. So Colorado sweeps this time Edmonton, and that's sort of a shock to Edmonton fans. Game 3 was a shit show. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I'll show the picture that you sent me.
Yeah. No. Well, that was last night's game actually.
Well, exactly. That was game 4.
Oh right, yeah. But you're talking about game 3.
No, game 4 was a shit show.
Game 3. Well, game 3 had the. I thought you were alluding to the Evander Kane and Kadri incident.
There's that. We could go into that, but just in general, the Edmonton Oilers were not there.
Well, no. As a whole, no. Obviously, you had certain players, like their main guys that were showing up. Like Nude got a goal, Hyman got a goal. Draisaitl and McDavid were performing as well.
Yeah.
Darnell Nurse was doing his thing as well.
Even with what did he have? A lacerated hip?
Yeah, a lacerated. I think it was something like that. Yeah, I literally just read about it before.
Something severe.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. That's for sure. I don't think anything in your body should be lacerated.
No. Nurse has a torn hip flexor.
That was it.
You know, when it's got flexor or something like that, it's
or torn.
Yeah, it's not good.
Again, just things shouldn't be tearing in your body.
You heard it from Steven.
Yeah. Don't if something's torn in your body, go see a doctor.
Yes.
But yeah, like Mike Smith was Mike Smith.
Yeah. Mike Smithing.
Yeah, he was smithing about, that's for sure. We gotta make that a term, I guess.
Smithing the game.
Smithing the game, yeah. But yeah, he was just I don't know what to say. Oilers fans, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you guys.
Here's the hit. Yeah,
this one. It's not the cleanest. That's for sure. I'm sure a lot of people don't mind it because it's to a player like Kadri, but either way, it shouldn't. Like, I don't know, Kane, he has the numbers lined up.
Yeah.
It's clear boarding as well. Like, that's the definition of boarding. And since it's into the numbers, and you got to think, because he saw it was Kadri, he knew what he was doing, right? Like, he was like, oh, okay, like, this is my chance to take him out and give us a chance to maybe take a game or something like that. So, it costed him a game. So it costed him last night's game. He didn't participate in the game, Evander Kane. And it looks like now, like hearing with Kadri, the initial reports was just out for the series. But yesterday, it's now sounding like he may be done for the rest of the playoffs. So he
Wow.
might not even participate in the finals, which as a kid, that's what these guys dream about, is playing in the finals. And now that his team's finally there, the fact that he may not be able to participate in it kind of sucks. But it's a thumb injury. So even if it's at like 70%, he's going to be saying, I'm good to go. And the doctors will probably clear him. So let's hope he has that chance. Because I still like Kadri. I still love Kadri. Love watching him. Love his play style. He's everything the Leafs need, and they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see him actually play for the cup, because it's one thing to get your name on the cup, and you're a part of the team. He was there all season. Like, it's not like he did nothing if they do end up going on to win, but still, as a player, I think you want to be in those games and participating and actually being there with the guys and on the ice.
No, yeah, of course. And again, as a Habs fan, I see Kadri as I would see Brendan Gallagher for my team, or Brian
Mhm.
Marchand for a Boston Bruins fan.
Yeah, exactly.
A guy
They're
you
all
love to hate, a guy you would want on your team any day of the week.
yeah, they're all exactly grouped into that same category of player that, like, they play with their heart on their sleeve, and it's what you need. They can get under the other team's skins really easily too, which throws them off their game and helps your team win.
McDavid said in the presser after the fact, he said that um, he the Edmonton Oilers were in the same position as the Colorado Avalanche, that they were um, a similar team, but just a few years behind. That they're on the same path as them.
Yeah,
Would you say
you know
that?
what? That's not a bad shout, to be honest. Like, you look back at Colorado from like 2018, 2019, like they didn't, I guess more so 2018. I think 2019 that was their first year with Grubauer. So like the year before that, like, they didn't, like 2018, I think like Andrew Hammond played a playoff game for them.
Oh wow.
The Hamburglar, yeah.
Yes.
So they didn't quite have the goalie situation figured out that year. Their stars were great and showing up and helped them, win a round and push teams in the second round. It's like pretty far. But yeah, they just weren't as deep. Although I think the Avs from then were deeper than the Oilers now. So I see what he's saying. He's just trying to, I guess he's just trying to help the team build, like, stay confident and feel good about themselves going into next season, going into the off season. So I see what he's doing. He's the captain of that team too, for a reason. So, he probably sees a lot more than we do as
Yeah.
fans from the outside.
He's also the best
But
player in the world, so
yeah, exactly. If he's saying that, you're right. Like, he knows what he's doing. You can't really question what he's saying. But
no.
I don't know. At the same time, like, is that 100%? Like, what do you think of that quote?
Uh, he's not wrong, but he didn't say a timeline. He said that they're similar to Colorado, and not the team, but how their success has been in the playoffs or in the postseason so
Yeah.
far.
Hmm.
With Connor McDavid being in the Edmonton Oilers organization. Um, I I could say that they're similar. They are missing a lot of pieces to finally get to that final spot,
Hmm.
but that's just one or two pieces that they're missing. And
Yeah, like a goalie.
is it Ken Holland? Is Ken Holland? I mean, let's be real here. Colorado's goaltending wasn't the greatest neither.
No,
Out of the two series, but we got the East and the West. You have the East has the best goalies.
yeah. Oh, by far. Like, it was
It's a
marketed as,
cakewalk.
like, as the battle of the two best goalies right now. Yes.
Edmonton had the better goaltender in Mike Smith in terms of statistics, but of course, the last game 4 was a bit of a mess.
I mean, I would still argue that. I would say Kemper is a better goalie overall
Did they have
over Mike
Pavel
Smith.
Francouz playing in net?
Even I'd take Francouz over Smith any day.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you even if Francouz has 906 save percentage and 913 for Mike Smith, still go.
Because Francouz, plays steady. He also stays in his crease, so I feel more secure with a guy like him in net.
Fair.
Like it's just play styles, right? Like even Francouz, like he's been on Colorado for the past 2 years, so he knows what it's like to play on a team with high expectations. Smith kind of he's always been bouncing around a lot. He's been on teams that have gone far, like the 2012 Coyotes that went to the conference finals.
Yeah.
So like, he's been there, done that. I get that, but even he's been on an Olympic team too in Sochi, that one goal. So he's been there for big moments. But yeah, I'd still just based on play style and how I feel as a fan watching the team, I'll take Francouz over him any days. He catches with his right hand. He catches with the wrong hand. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
That throws off the other team. Like imagine you're just skating in, then you just see like you go to shoot glove, and then all of a sudden there's a blocker there. It's like, how did that happen?
Well, who switched that
No,
around?
I'm sure these teams they got their scouting reports. They're telling the players before the game, like, hey, he catches on the other side. So, I don't know. I don't think you concern yourself with that either.
No.
You're in the NHL. You just shoot.
You just hear the weak side, and then that you're good.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah,
It's just your
exactly.
weak side and how to abuse it. Now, for the Eastern Conference, the series is still going on. New York is somehow leading the series right now, 2-1. It's just a pup of a series. It just started. Do you think that New York will be able to keep this going?
It's gonna be interesting. Like to be like game 3 on Sunday.
Yeah.
When they went up 2-0, I like actually believed that they were gonna like just take a 3-0 series lead and they'd be in the stranglehold, But then Tampa Bay, again, they do this every time. They just remember, oh yeah, we're Tampa Bay. Like let's get back to the way we play hockey.
That's right.
And then they figure it out. And Palat just being clutch as always. I saw a stat yesterday that amongst active NHL players, I think he's like second or third or like tied for second in most game-winning goals in the playoffs. Like he has 10 game-winning goals in the playoffs. Yeah, so that's like dating back all the way, I guess, to like 2014 or 2015, whenever they started making the playoffs with this core, which is just incredible. Yeah, like the fact that
just
it's
46,
true. Like,
just 46 seconds left to the game, or not even that. 42 seconds left to the game.
Yeah.
And
man, like
gets him the lead.
I've always loved Andre Palat as a player. Like he's so clutch. He just shows up in the big moments. Like he's so because of like just how many stars are on that team. Like Point, Stamkos, Kucherov. I guess you can name like Hedman, just for example, right? Like, yeah, like
Sorelli.
Palat's just a guy who gets forgotten about. I feel like so many times, and like you can't forget about a guy like him who has that ability and that poise and determination to like get things done and make it happen. Like he's such a great playmaker. He's got such a great shot. He's so underrated, and I think like a lot of people have been making this point recently because like you're seeing the stats and you're saying like how could you not give this guy love? But like yeah, I'm just happy that like he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves. Like he probably won't win a Conn Smythe one day. Like
there's too many good players on the team to
exactly. Yeah, like
you
other
need
players
to lead the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Exactly, but like this would be the kind of year for him. Let's say Tampa does three-peat. This could be the year where maybe it does go to him because Vasilevsky hasn't been the sharpest so far.
Well, who decides who gets the Conn Smythe?
There's a vote. I forgot who votes on it. I think it's some of the hockey writers get to vote on it.
Okay.
There's like 11 votes. I forgot how many people vote on it.
I'd say there's a 1 in 3 chance of him maybe getting it.
But yeah, I think he gets at least if Tampa three-peats, I think he gets at least one Conn Smythe vote. I think he might have even gotten one like last year, the year before.
Just because like surprised.
Yeah, just because like he deserves it, right? He deserves to get that love. He's just such an underappreciated player. But I'm sure Lightning fans and have been saying it for years. They've been probably saying it for even longer than us because they've been watching him for a long time, right? But yeah, I know, always been a huge Palat guy. Yeah, I'm just happy that he's finally just getting the recognition that he actually deserves and the love.
what did I want to say about this one? So
Ryan.
the Ryan Strome, yes, but there's also the fact that New York was able to get 2 wins in a row,
Hmm.
breaking Tampa Bay's stranglehold on them not losing ever 2 times in a row in the playoffs
Yes. Yeah,
since
ever since
2018, I think, right?
19, since they got
19,
swept by Columbus.
right? Okay.
Yeah, they hadn't suffered back-to-back loss, which that like someone had to end it. Like the Leafs didn't end it. Florida didn't end it. So yeah, good for the Rangers to end it.
That's
Um
a big feat in itself.
that is
Just
that
gotta
is that's huge, man.
just gotta give him props for that. In game 3, there was a little injury. I mean, he's gonna play. He's cleared for game 4. But it's strange. It's a strange injury. I'm going to show it to you guys. Ba-da-ba-ba. Let's go to the browser here. So you can see that he gets pushed, a little tap, and then he's leaning on the leg here on his right leg. You can see he's holding on to it, and then he goes to the bench, and he lifts up his right leg or his left leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one that
just
he
right
leans.
away.
Oh, it's right to left.
Oh, and look who it was who hit him. It was the guy I was
It's
just talking
100
so much
Palat.
about. It's Andre Palat, yeah.
Do you think maybe he was trying to embellish? I wouldn't. I'm not gonna say that. I don't think he did. He's
Uh,
not trying to embellish, but you think that maybe he would?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far to say that he embellished. I think something he actually did tweak something there because it's one of those awkward injuries where it's like, yeah, again, like I was saying to you before when you showed me that footage that like you're just skating, you know the guy's back there, but you don't expect him to push or do anything to you, and then all of a sudden when he does, you're already turning, like you can see in the clip, he's already turning, and I guess just like that kind of threw off his balance a bit, so he had to adjust because of that, and then by doing that just something kind of tweaked in his leg. But yeah, luckily he's good to go because reading some of the comments, people were saying like if that's ACL or if that's like a patella injury, like that could be a long injury, like talking like upwards of 4 months probably just to recover. And from something so small like that,
Yeah.
it would hate to see it, really.
Goes from upper body then to lower body injury. It's crazy how that goes down like that.
Yeah, yeah, truly is crazy. But
Very strange. But yeah,
yeah,
that's about it for that series. It's an entertaining one, and I'm definitely gonna watch 1 or 2 games because they're
yes,
at
sir.
reasonable times. And don't
Yeah,
have,
game 4 tonight.
there you
So we
go.
got that to look forward to. 8 o'clock Eastern,
I'm watching that tonight.
5 Pacific.
There you go.
I believe it's on Sportsnet here in Canada,
Yeah.
and I believe ESPN has the series in the States. Yes, they do because
Okay.
TNT had the West final.
I just wanted to bring back to the Colorado Avalanche just to talk
Hmm.
about the game-winning goal
Yes,
so,
yes.
from Arturi Lehkonen, who does it again in
2 years in
overtime,
a
2
row.
years in a
Two.
row. Could you imagine that? There's a
He
guy.
actually
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say actually, I saw he joined another like exclusive list. I think he became like the third player in history to do that, like to send a team to the finals in like multiple occasions in overtime.
Right.
So it's a cool feat to be a part of. Like not many players can say that. Not many players can even be in that opportunity.
No,
And then you have a guy like him who just ends up clutch both times. But sorry, you were gonna mention.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I messed it up. I messed up everything.
It's fine. It's fine. It was a good
I know.
goal.
Did you see what McKinnon had to say about it?
No.
He's kind of joking around. Like he was asked like by a reporter, like, "Oh, where were you? What do you think? Like, what did you see on that play and whatnot?" And he said, like, "Yeah, I kind of got nervous at first because like he had an entire open net and he hit the post and went in." So he was saying like, "Yeah, I got a little nervous when that happened, but in the end, ultimately happy and whatnot." But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny how it went off the post and in on an open net. But I guess yeah, it's just one of those moments, right? Like you see an opportunity like that, you do get nervous as a player
Of
because
course.
that doesn't come around all the time.
No, that opportunity. It's just one goal that you need to push yourself to the next
Yeah.
round. It's nerve-wracking.
Maybe the Leafs should have got Arturi Lehkonen. They could have ended it in Game 6,
Yeah,
overtime.
but maybe like you could have traded Arturi Lehkonen for Matthews, and that's a fair deal. Because at least
Sorry, my PTSD just set in there. My bad. I'm back.
At least someone could get it done, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
someone could.
someone can get it done. So before we finish with the playoffs here, just a quick question for you, Steven. Tampa Bay or New York?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I knew it was a tough one. I knew it was a tough one.
Oh man,
I had to throw it at you.
I'm gonna say Tampa. I genuinely believe Tampa. I think they win tonight. And I think, I think it's going 7 though, to be honest. So I don't see them winning 4 straight. So yeah, they take this one, and then the last 3 games, just they win 2 out of the 3. I think that's it.
I'm just gonna do the opposite and just say New York.
Is that who you actually think though, or?
Well, I gotta think about this, because if it's Tampa Bay versus Colorado, that one's a more even playing field. I feel like New York would be the underdog versus Colorado.
Yeah, 100%. I think both teams are the underdog versus Colorado.
Really?
Well, betting wise, but like if it's,
I wouldn't bet against Tampa Bay.
Exactly, right? Like, how could you? They're back-to-back champs for a reason.
It's hard to say, because at the same time, New York is just that sneaky depth that they stole some from Tampa Bay as well. Right? Who they have? They don't have Blake Coleman, but they have what's
Barclay Goodrow.
That's right. Yeah, Barclay Goodrow. So he knows how it's done, and he knows how to play against his former team. I'm just gonna say New York. I'm doing it. Just saying New York, and then Colorado wins the cup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see either team coming out of the Eastern Conference, but in the end, I think this is Colorado's cup to lose.
But if Tampa Bay wins, it wins against New York, I'm gonna guarantee that Tampa Bay wins the cup.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm confident. I'm confident in that. I don't think New York could win it against Colorado, and if they do, then Lundqvist is gonna be crying. He's gonna be very mad as well. Extremely pissed off. I don't blame him, not for a second.
He'll be happy. He's a class act
for a 1-day PTO. Just to play in the playoffs. Just
Hank is a class act. He'll be happy regardless.
They should have hired him to be a coach or something. So at least
just so he can get his name on there. Yes. Yeah. But honestly though, like, what was I about to say? It had to do with
my statement.
The potential. Oh, it's about Colorado. How like they're going into this finals having only played 2 games over the minimum amount of games you could play at this point. They've only they're 12-2.
Yeah.
They swept, lost 2 games to St. Louis, swept. Like,
let's be real here though. They haven't really faced Edmonton. Yes, they're a good team, but they're not. I
mean, St. Louis. St. Louis was their hardest opponent, and like St. Louis is a tough out.
Yeah, you're right. Like, if Binnington was still in there, definitely I think 7 would have happened.
Yeah, but even without it, they still took them to 6.
Yeah,
like they didn't lose in 5. It was still like a good series,
not pushovers.
And like every game was a hard game. Like St. Louis, you can beat St. Louis, but it's not going to be easy. Like they'll make you pay. Like if you're beating them, they'll do things so that like it's like, oh, and like next time you'll remember what like a certain hit or something, like where like they lined you up at the blue line. They'll make you think twice about doing that next time.
Right.
Like St. Louis is just that kind of team. They always have been, even when they're like a basement team, like before like the current core came around, when they were like at like the bottom of the standings, like they were still a tough team to beat just because they played hard and intense every night.
That's why I think Colorado is going to have a tougher time, because you go from Nashville, right? They swept Nashville. Then they go on to St. Louis, and I think they lose the first game against St. Louis, right?
No, they lost game 2, I believe. They won game 1, I think.
Didn't they start off about no, they won. Yeah, you're right. They won. It was a close game.
Yeah.
Overtime they go to, and then St. Louis wins convincingly game 2, and game 3 and 4 Colorado takes it. St. Louis wins in game 5, and then game 6 Colorado wins it to send them to the semifinal, Western Conference Final. So I think, especially whatever team comes out of there, I think they're gonna win it. They're gonna win the first game. New York's gonna win the series. Gonna lose the series. Tampa Bay would win the series versus Colorado. That's my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, honestly, that could very well happen.
Because Tampa Bay is just, if they lose against New York, it doesn't mean New York is better. It just means that they have a sauce that can beat that sauce. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. The battle of the sauces.
The sauces, dude. It's the sauce.
Sauce, dude.
So are we done with the playoffs?
Well, I mean, for now, talking about it, yes, but I'm not done watching it.
Of course.
That's for sure.
Of course. The playoffs are not done yet, guys. Just keep an eye out on this YouTube channel for your playoff news.